Good morning, everyone. Grace and peace. Welcome to Find the Intersection. My name is Paul Dezay, and it's another rainy day here in Muncie. I hope you're doing all okay out there. Hey, today is Wednesday, which typically throughout the year is the Old Testament day, so we focus on the Old Testament. But during the season of Eastertide, which is the season between Easter and Pentecost, and by the way, this is the last week of Eastertide, and Pentecost is Sunday, June the 9th. We do the book of Acts, and so that's where we've been. Last week we talked about Acts chapter 16, the first part, and then we continue with this theme of Paul going into Philippi. A little context for this passage. Philippi is a Roman military colony named after Philip, which would be the father of Alexander the Great. And so this is kind of a military town, very nationalistic. It's in Macedonia in Europe, but very Roman in culture, right? And so Paul last week ministered to Lydia outside the gates of the city, since there was no synagogue within Philippi. And Lydia, who was a Gentile, became a Christ follower. And the church started meeting in her house. So that's where we left off last week. Now this week, it kind of continues where Paul encounters a slave girl who has the spirit of divination in her. And interesting, so let's focus in there. So my first point is talking about the slave girl and the Apostle Paul. And she has the spirit of divination, which would have been the Greek god of divination is Apollo. And Apollo had a foothold within the Roman Empire because Augustus, the Caesar, used to dress up as Apollo. And so Apollo was well known and associated with Caesar and associated with the Roman culture, even though it was a Greek god. And so Paul releases her from that demon. It upsets the people who own the slave girl because there was a lot of money involved in the slave girl doing what she would do with her spirit of divination. And so the people got upset. So the second point is this response from the Philippians. And the magistrates, they brought Paul in front of the magistrates, and they said that the Jews were the problem. So there was this very nationalistic thing going on here. There was a rising up of the Philippians that it was pro-Rome, anti-Jew. And so they were saying that the Jews are troublemakers, not following the laws, and so they put Paul in prison. But the interesting thing I thought was just how the crowds supported the magistrates, how nationalistic pride can rise up, and the energy that can kind of rally around that cry of nationalism, which nationalism is like a religious cause focused around a country, right? So it's associating country and religion together. And that's exactly what was going on in Philippi, and how much energy and anti-Paul was going on here. So Paul gets thrown into prison, my third point, and they worship at night. They sing hymns, not hymns like we know hymns, like in our hymn books. This is like ancient songs, right? And they pray, and there's an earthquake, and the doors fly open. Now the jailer wakes up and sees that this is going on, and he attempts to commit suicide because, well, it would have been the worst thing in the entire world. And they for prisoners to escape. And Paul cries out from the jail cell and says, "Hey, wait! Don't hurt yourself. We're here." And I love that phrase. We're here. We're here for you. We're here still. We're present with you. Don't hurt yourself. And then the jailer becomes a Christ follower, and his family becomes a Christ follower. And they provide, just like Lydia provided hospitality last week, the jailer provides hospitality for Paul this week, which is a response to becoming a Christ follower. We show hospitality, which is a theme throughout the book of Acts. So those three themes are really, in this narrative of Philippi are really powerful, I thought. The way nationalism works, and I think that we really have to be careful as Christians in America how nationalism, religion, and state kind of merge together and how dangerous that is, because it's very easy to oppress people that aren't part of our nation, or we assume part of our nation. And I really love this idea of Paul saying to the jailer, hey, we're still here. Don't hurt yourself. And I think that we can say that to people around us. Hey, don't hurt yourself. We're here for you. We're going to be present with you in the midst of this pain. So anyway, that's what I got for today. What did you get? If you read Acts chapter 16, verses 16 to 34, what stood out to you? Share it in the comments. And we'll be back tomorrow with Psalm 97. And then on Friday, we're going to be talking about intersections themes. And so, hey, Mallory, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, cool. Hey, anyway, have a great day, everybody. Stay dry out there, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Grace and peace.